float. It's a positive seed. Manifestation is based on what you believe. Outcome depends on how the situation perceived. But ain't no limit to what the power of the mind can achieve. Keep it going, never stopping, never slowing.
What's up, Fit Fam Tribe? So, I got a question for you. What is the best version of yourself? What defines things do you think about when you think about, what makes the best version of you? I want you to think about this. I want you to realize that it's not I can, anything I put my mind to, I can do. It's like, yeah, okay, that's awesome. But if you're not doing it and you're not taking action, that means nothing. Words are cheap. Talk's cheap. So the best version of you is the version of you that's focused, the version of you that is never giving up, the version of you that doesn't say, I can do anything my mind is put to. It's the version of you that is, I will do anything I need to succeed. I will do, not I can do. It's all about, will you? And if you will, then do it. Don't talk about it, just do it. There's too many people that, say that they could do this if this, they could be there if that, they could lose 10 pounds if, and it's like, okay, if, it's like, shut up. Like, stop talking, just put in the work. That's the best version of you. The focus, the determined, I am going to do anything to succeed. You need to realize when you are developing a better version of you, you shouldn't be looking at other people where they are today and using them as competition. It is good to use those people as a point of reference of where you can be, because they're not different from you, right? They're still made up of the same, components you are. They're the same style cells you have, the same muscle that you have, the same brain you have. It's just how you utilize those things. They have the same 24 hours in the day. But what do you do for your 24 hours? The best version of you would be putting in work any spare time they have. The weak version of you is sitting on TikTok and sitting on, Instagram for, hours on end. It's like, okay, what needs to be done today? Have you done it? Is there anything you can look up? Go look it up. What do you need to do to get there? Focus on it, get it done, and you're one step closer to your goal. You being better than yourself is the only competition that you should be focusing on. Don't focus on where someone else is today. Focus on being better than you were yesterday. Because if you think about it in the sense of like comparing anyone, the fairest competition would be yourself. You are the same. You have the same advantages. You have the same disadvantages. You've had the same life experiences that you've had. That isn't the case for everybody. So why are you going to compare yourself to someone else that has different life experiences, different advantages, different disadvantages? Compare yourself to you. Compete against yourself. Be better every day. If you're better than you were yesterday, and that yesterday you were better than the day before, and so forth, like think about where you're going to be in a year. Like that's huge. That's 365 times better than you are today. If you do that next year, look, now you're already 365 times better than you were in a year, next year, and so forth. You only grow by making sure that you're doing what you need to do. Not I can do anything I put my mind to. It's like, do it. Don't talk about it, just do it. One thing, as I'm driving home from a networking event right now, and, I was just kind of thinking and reflecting about, the best version of yourself and how to determine that and stuff like that. But one thing I think people do is, with putting I can do, I put my mind to, whatever I put my mind to, I can, do this, I can do that. Reshifting your mindset and reshifting your perspective on things makes the same situation completely different, right? You can look at things as stresses, you can look at things as failures, obstacles, whatever you want, but if you reframe that same event, that same, pain point in your life, and you look at it as a lesson to be learned so that you can grow, you live life differently. Your days are different. Each day has a lesson. Whether you realize it or not, somewhere throughout your day, you learned something. Whether it was through a conversation with someone, whether it was you read something, you saw something, but try to analyze your day. Try to look back on your day. What can you pull from your day that can make you better for tomorrow? Being better today doesn't necessarily mean you have to read today. You have to, listen to a podcast today. That doesn't necessarily mean that in every single case. But if you're analyzing what your day is and you take a lesson from that and you interpret that lesson, and now look, you've grown. One thing that I've learned over the years is I've learned more lessons from people, my conversations with people, than I've learned in some books, than I've learned, with watching different YouTube videos or whatever. Because sometimes you learn how people speak. Sometimes you learn from other people's experiences. But there's a lesson in everything. If you can pull that lesson, you're going to be setting yourself up on a full different scale. Your growth is exponential. But you got to put in that work and you got to put in that time to actually break it down. Think about it. Analyze it. How can you use it? If someone's is telling you a story or something like that, and there's a point to the story, if it's a growth story or something like that, like, what can you do to use that in your life? If you look something up and let's say it's in fitness and the person has a different goal than you, or if it's, in business and, they have a different business category than you, whatever they're doing, can you flip it a little bit to make it fit your life? Can it help you grow in any way, shape, or form? Because I guarantee it can. And I've learned that through experience for sure. A topic that a lot of people I know on social media and stuff is they talk about and people relate to or like to think it's magic is affirmations, or, telling yourself that you want something and keep telling yourself you want something, and somehow the universe is supposed to just give it to you. In one way, I see the upside of doing that. Like, I have a vision board and everything. Like, it's one thing to know what your goals are, why you're doing it. You've broken down your goal and you know your why, you know your purpose. You see the goal, you see the end result. But the universe, the world, the life is not going to give you anything without you putting in work. It won't. If you don't put in the work, you won't receive, and you won't, get closer to your goal. Sorry to say it. It just doesn't work like that. Life isn't a lottery. Life is a gamble, yes. And you do have to take risks. And sometimes that risk doesn't work out. But if you leave it at that and you don't take another risk, if you don't try to do it again, if you don't, if you're not back in the gym trying to lose that next pound, if you're not, trying to grow your business, maybe whatever you did didn't work the first time, it might work the second time. But don't do it exactly the same way, because obviously that didn't work. You learned what didn't work. Now you have at least one way that didn't work. So now you got plenty of opportunities that still do work or might work. So try them, because you can't, if life is a gamble, you can't win the jackpot by sitting on the sidelines. You got to be in the game. You got to be taking action. You got to be willing to risk. You got to be willing to accept some losses throughout your day, throughout your life. Those losses are only losses and only failures if you give up. Otherwise, they're just lessons. Lessons learned. Lessons that have helped you grow. I want you to really think about that. Maybe last year you didn't lose that 10 pounds that you wanted to. But why didn't you? Oh, because, this event, that event, blah, 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 blah. No, that's fucking excuses. So now your lesson from that is I gave myself too many opportunities to give up. I need to be harder on myself. Why did I give myself too many excuses? Because I didn't know my why, or because I didn't have a support system, because I didn't have an accountability plan. I didn't have a game plan. I didn't have a picture of my end result. Okay, now you know why you actually gave yourself those excuses, and you gave yourselves those outs every time you needed to go work out. Now you can hit your next game plan a little bit differently. Your business didn't work out. Hey, that's life. Happens with everyone. My business, with the gym, this wasn't my first business. And it wasn't an overnight thing. Like, people see the doors open. People see what it is right now. They see that we have, staff, but that wasn't the case in the beginning. It was just me and my business partner, Nick, that you guys know, some of you guys know. It was just me and him in the beginning. We had no employees. We were working, 12 hours a day just in the business and still doing personal training on the side to help fund the business and grow the business and put money back into the business. So we were working 16, 17, 18-hour days every day. And we still do that because our vision, our goal is bigger. But leading up to how we even got our business, I tried to open a gym for years. But I gave myself excuses, or, I didn't find the right business partner and this and that. And then it got to a point where I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it. I don't care. Like, whatever it is, like, I'm just going to let it roll. Like, I need to take action or else it's never going to happen. After almost that 5 years of like telling myself, one day I'm going to do this, one day I'm going to do this. And it got to the matter of me going, okay, it's not if I'm going to open a gym, it's just when I'm going to open a gym. And that when was now. I decided I needed to take action. I put my foot down and let's go. I met Nick and I was like, yo, we should team up. Like, I got this idea, and he was on board. I sold him the vision. Now it's our vision. You know, that vision has now molded into bigger things and more evolved things because your vision, your goal should continue to grow as you grow. But the results of where we are today wasn't luck. The results of where we are today wasn't because I hoped the universe would just give it to me. If that was the case, I would still be sitting there just doing personal training, which I mean, I loved, but that wasn't my goal. That wasn't my dream. And I'm still not at my dream. My dream is bigger than most people comprehend. When I do tell the few people that do know my full dream, it's usually like, oh, okay, like you get a high five. Yeah, you know, give you a pat on the head. That's how your dream and that's how your goal should be, whatever it is. You want to lose 10 pounds? People see that you failed multiple times at trying to lose weight. Don't tell them, just show them. Because you can do it. You can do it. It needs to be, I will do it, right? You need to shift your mindset this time. Because this time is the time. This time is the time that you are going to succeed. This time is the time that is your time. This time is the time that you're going to do everything you need to do and sacrifice whatever you need to sacrifice so that you hit your goal and you succeed. I believe in you. You should believe in yourself. Believe in yourself to get off the couch and get your ass moving. But with all that, this was more of a little motivational Monday pep talk. And I hope that you guys can internalize that and see where your excuses and your lessons throughout the day are. Internalize it, learn from it, grow from it, and become the best version of you. No more I can, and start training to I will, because you got this.